Welcome loyal fans, my name is Matt Armstrong and I will be your host for parts of this video. We are gathered here today for the last race of the Manufacturers' Cup. This is going to be a worthy closing race of the Cup as we are going to the Nürburgring in Germany. Specifically the endurance layout, which includes part of the GP circuit. We will once again drive in the Group 3 cars, so the mighty Beetle will have to show its worth in the green hell. Qualifying is extended to 13 minutes to allow drivers to complete the full out lap of over 8 minutes before starting their one flying lap. Once again, we only get one shot at a qualifying lap. We all know what that means for this edit.
One shot. One opportunity.
The race itself is for 5 laps total, making this the longest race of this Cup on the most challenging circuit we have. This is really going to test everyone's resolve today. Only the racing hard slicks are available for this race. But the weather is completely random, so there is also a good chance the intermediates will get some track time. There is also a mandatory pit stop for this race. Even though you might be able to take the hards all the way to the end, you will have to make a stop anyway. And changing tyres is definitely going to be both faster and a lot safer to do. The strategy is obviously going to be dependent on the weather conditions, but if the race starts in the dry, it's probably best to pit no earlier than lap 3. You will have more time to see what the weather is doing, and there is less risk of getting out the pits into traffic. It's very hard to overtake once on the Nordschleife itself, so having clean air is going to be key for a good result here. The call for intermediates is going to be difficult. Sometimes the radar will show light rain, but very little will actually get on track. So except when there are dark blue patches of rain on the radar, it is probably best to stay out on the slicks. Well then, enough talking about it. Let's go see what the weather is going to do in this race. Onwards to qualifying.
Before we move on to qualifying though, there is one thing we are hoping for, Matt. We are hoping Dordanov ends up in the same lobby as Ozzy. There is no control over that since lobbies are made by automatic matchmaking, but their ratings are currently extremely close together. As you can see here, if there is ever a time to end up in the same lobby, it would be now. Well then, let's see what happens. Would you look at that? It actually happened. Ozzy is in the room.
I'm in with Dord. I saw his name.
As well as some other familiar faces. Mr. Hogg.
Hog Rider!
And Virtual Dan. This should be a fun race. Don't you agree, Ozzy?
I definitely saw Dord. There he is. Mr. Dordanov, let's go. Let's go, boys. I'm more stoked that I'm going to be in his video. I can't wait.
Well then, let's go. On to qualifying. Look, it's Ozzy.
Right, let him get round a little bit. There goes Dord. Good luck, mate.
Thanks, Ozzy. You too.
One eternity later.
Not the cleanest of laps, and it shows by only being a P11 on the grid for now. Even Ozzy is surprised, as he out-qualified Dordanov by a good margin while serving a penalty in his lap.
We beat Dord.
These were some fast times though, as even Dordanov's fastest practice time would only have been a P6 here. And both of them even get demoted when some big baller puts his car ahead in P8. Anyway, the race is something completely different. Let's just go. Talking about something completely different, let's not forget to look at the radar because we might have some rain. Here we see the weather of the past 60 minutes up until now. That is a big batch of rain. Let's see where that ends up when we get to the current time. Oof, right in the middle of it. And it will move onwards with some dark blue parts coming to track. That should probably warrant going for inters. That is Dordanov's choice at least. What about you, Ozzy?
What we started on? What are we doing? We're going hards or we going inters? I'm going inters. I'm going hard, sorry. Yeah, I'm going to go hards. I'm going hards.
It's a bold strategy, Cotton. Let's see if it pays off for him.
Do we go inters or do we go hards? Look at that. Oh, what is it? What is it? We got 13 seconds. I don't know what to do. I'm going hard. I'm going hard. I'll deal with the rain. It is raining though. Oh, it's too late. It's too late. It's too late. We're on hards, boys. Calm on, Trinity. Right, we'll watch this. I'll be right back.
It is raining a little bit, but the track looks rather dry, so Dordanov is only slightly stressing about his choice right now. There we are, P9, P9. Mr. Hogg, Mr. Dawn, let's go. And here we see what Dordanov was slightly afraid of. Surface water is currently on 0%, but rain is definitely on the radar. Sometimes it takes a while for the track to accumulate water after the race starts. He has to hope it comes rather soon though, or the intermediates will start melting and he might lose position to other drivers that started on slicks. A little bit of pushing through the first corner, which is to be expected. No big incidents, luckily. There is currently no telling who will have opted for the slicks or the intermediates, but the intermediates are not feeling too great on this bone-dry track. The windshield wiper is active though, so that does mean rain is currently falling down. When entering the Nordschleife, we see some actual activity on the moisture meter. It's not much, but this will slowly help with wear on the inters, and if it keeps up, the inters should win over any slick users. Unsure it was due to his tire choice, but Mr. Hogg was just overtaken here. Up to P11. On the radar, we can see that we are about to hit a part of the track with much higher rain intensity. That is exactly what the intermediates need. You can see and hear the rain getting worse. Not long now, and the slick users are going to start to struggle. Yellows. And that is up to P5 from P11 in just one short section. I think we have found the reason for the intermediates and plenty of drivers who were on slicks. Let's take a quick look at the replay.
God. Get out of the way of those boys. I'm not on the right tyres.
Yeah, that was quite some chaos into that one corner, and it really shows that the intermediates were the right choice here.
Probably should have taken inters.
Really?
But the choice was not as clear as it would seem. The grid was evenly split amongst tire choices. 8 drivers opted for the slicks, and the other 8 opted for the intermediates. That same split in choice is now clear in positions. All intermediate drivers have moved up to the top 8. Dordanov fared well here. 6 places won, and there is possibility for some more, especially when drivers ahead have penalties. Both drivers just ahead have received a penalty for overtaking under yellow, which seems quite weird, but they overtook someone who had not spun yet, and the game punishes for that. We can see most of the intermediate pack is still pretty close together. Any mistake here will mean a lot of positions won or lost. And there we have that one costly mistake. Back to P8, the last of the intermediate runners. It's still a long race though. A lot can still happen. Hopefully, the moisture meter is slowly creeping up to 2/3 now. That will be full wet territory. Since the track is projected to dry, the inters are still going to be the best choice. But it does mean it might get a bit slippery even on the inters.
Everyone who picked Inters is laughing now, aren't they?
Well, sort of. Dordanov is still running last place of everyone on Inters, but he still has hope he can salvage something better from this. Generally speaking, he does better than average in rainy conditions. Right now, it's not looking too good though, but once again, it's a long race. Looks like some cars are starting to show up ahead already. Maybe some stragglers waiting to be overtaken. And that is the first one. Let's go.
So let's go.
The rain is not stopping just yet. More dark patches on the radar. Definitely not a time to stop for slicks just yet. And another position won because someone still had a penalty to serve.
So let's go.
As you can see now, the moisture meter is getting into full wet territory. This means it's going to be important to try to brake and accelerate off the racing line for a bit. Although it seemed the rain had picked up a bit, there is still a dry line visible now, so better stick to that then. He is really catching back up to the drivers in front now. Hopefully he can overtake them as quickly as he is reeling them in. Someone farther ahead made a mistake and went off track. Up to P5 now. And here goes Mr. Hogg.
Another one.
Up to P4, right on the gearbox of P3. These are tricky conditions, but he does seem to have the pace on the cars in front. Or at least the Supra, in second place, seems to cause a slight holdup. It's proper wet in this part of the track. This is very much a case of better safe than sorry. You are better off trying to drive a little slower if that doesn't cause you to spin off track. So we can't fault the Supra for being a little more cautious if he is struggling. The Supra has created quite the trolley train now, though. It's going to be important to get past him ASAP. The big baller in his Lancer has now wiggled past the Supra. Now it's Dordonov's turn to try and get past. And there was the mistake for the Supra, enough for Dordonov to clear him on the straight.
So let's go. I am the best.
A mistake from the Lancer that Dordonov was looking to profit from, but he was a bit too eager on the throttle to try and force the overtake. Instead, he has to let the Supra back past. It's too risky to go side by side here in these conditions.
Darn.
Well, that swap was short-lived. Back on the chase towards the Lancer in P2, the big baller in his Lancer has pretty good pace though, close to Dordonov's pace actually, so it will take some time for him to catch back up. So now we have some time available. It might be a good moment to take a quick look back at everyone that struggled on slicks in lap 1. It changed from very dry to very wet in about 3 to 4 minutes. So you can imagine people on slicks were in for quite the challenge. Let's take a look. All these events took place after that initial pileup while they had to drive the entire lap back to the pits for inters. I have put the events in chronological order as much as possible, but saved one special case as last. And no, it's not who you think. This one is for you, Mr. Dyer.
Oh, it's everywhere. Everyone's everywhere. Go, 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 go. I need to get my brakes onto ABS weak. I've got to. Oh, yeah, this is going well. There's no point coming in for it either, because the rain's going to disappear.
Oh, really?
I can't even get away. I can't even get away down the line. Come on. Oh, that's P1. That was P1. He must be on the hards as well. Silly. I bet everyone who picked... Oh my god. Oh my god. Nice. We're getting, once we get out this, oh my god, like literally I can't even get away. So what I've decided to do on this race is give you all a nice scenic tour of the Nordschleife. So you can see the crowds, wave as you go past.
He ain't lying.
It's obvious everyone on Slicks was massively struggling here, but as said previously, we have saved one special case for last, because one driver was struggling a bit more than most. Even though we are making a bit of fun of him, one thing must be said. Even when struggling, he never gave up. He got his car to the pits, endured the entire race, and kept going till the end. For sticking in there until the end, we can really say he showed some strong determination, and it's the best way to learn and improve. Kudos to you, good sir. Well then, back to the race still in progress. It is now a small part into lap 3, and Dordanov is still trying to chase down P2. People in Ozzy's chat have picked up on the fact that Dordanov is doing rather well in this race.
I think he started on the inters.
You are correct, Ozzy, and he is feeling much better about his choice compared to how he felt at the start of the race. The inters are slowly but surely starting to wear down as the track is drying up. It's important to try and keep them as cool as possible by driving over wet patches where available, and keeping in mind the grip will also be getting worse. There goes the Lancer. One small mistake can really be the difference here, and it's pretty difficult to keep your concentration top-notch in these tricky conditions on a track like this. Up to P2 though, no idea how far ahead P1 is, but we'll try to hunt him down. Let's go.
So let's go.
Looks like we just got a glimpse of P1 up ahead. That means he is not too far off. And that was P1 stationary on the side of the track. Up to P1 he goes. Let's fucking go.
Let's fucking go.
What is kind of weird though is that the cars that we're chasing are now also gone. For now, Dordanov assumes something might have happened to them, fighting together. That is not too hard to imagine in these conditions. He has Ozzy's stream on in the background since they are in the same lobby, and is expecting to hear a remark of him moving up to P1 in this race. Instead, he hears the following a few minutes later.
These doors in P2. That'd be nice if he gets the win.
It seems the game or lobby might be bugged out if Ozzy sees him in P2, and he sees himself in P1. Nothing Dordanov can do about it now, but just drive to the best of his ability. But maybe the upcoming pit stop might shed some more light on the situation. Let's move to that pit stop. Closing up to the pit stop, and all he sees is himself in P1. Let's see what happens. You can tell the intermediates are completely worn, and the track should be dry enough for slicks for sure. So the plan is to move to the hards now. Now the game shows the original P1 back in the lead, and this is what Ozzy is also seeing. Now Dordonov has a sneaking suspicion what is going on here. It's a rare thing he has heard that happens sometimes when the lobby bugs out for someone. What is slightly worrying though is that now lots of people seem to be jumping ahead in the rankings. Let's see where he ends up though. Still back in P1, but now he knows for sure something is going on with this lobby. Let's take a look at the replay from just before he overtook Odyssey for P1 to try and confirm it. All inputs suddenly dropped off completely, but the car remains on track. And what about the other drivers, you ask? Exactly the same. All cars went completely dead. This confirms the suspicion Dordonov currently has without being able to confirm it himself like we can now. The story he has heard is that people got sort of disconnected from the game lobby. For that person, they are driving solo on track without any other cars. But the other drivers can still see them driving around. The game just doesn't send updates about other drivers' positions to that specific person for some reason. So all he can do now is just drive on to the best of his ability. The plus side is there are no distractions. The downside, though, is you have no idea if you might get overtaken, and you can't really fight back. But since others can see you, it's a good question what happens in the case of contact. For this video, we have asked Ozzy to supply us with his version of the replay, so we can put the situations side by side. Let's take a look. Let's take a look at Ozzy's replay to see what others actually saw leading up to that pit stop. Now let's combine that with Dordonov's view. You can see there is absolutely nobody there for Dordonov, but Rambo Vidal in his Citroën definitely sees him.
Pit stop.
Rambo Vidal tried to force his way into the inner corner, but that didn't happen for Dordonov at all. He was not pushed aside, and his car never registered the contact, so it's going to be harder for others to overtake him. As he doesn't see them, Adden will not suffer from contact, where others could get forced off without Dordonov's intent. Let's see if Rambo Vidal will have another shot.
That's terrible.
You seem kind of psyched.
No, I'm bummed.
Well, that takes care of that problem. Now it won't be very entertaining to look at a car driving solo on track. So let's take a look at something weird that happened at the start of the final lap. Here we can see the game suddenly realizing Dordonov is actually in P2. This is probably because Odyssey just crossed the start-finish line, But let's see and hear what happens when Dordanov drives past the pit exit next. Back to P1, but did you also hear those tire squeals? What was that all about? Let's take a look at the pit exit. Apparently, all cars of drivers who made a pit stop after the lobby got bugged are teleported to the pit exit and are stuck with spinning tires there. The others that already pitted earlier, like Ozzy, are stationary on track.
Weird.
Anyway, let's move on to the race. Nearing the halfway point of the final lap, Big Baller and his Lancer is starting to catch up with Dordanov. Crisis averted. For now. A short bit later, Big Baller has to put attacking on hold because there is another contender to move up in the ranks. Ballsy moves, driving over those wet patches, and eventually he has to back off slightly to avoid spinning off and crashing. And getting into that wet bit really loses the connection. Pushing too hard is not advisable in these conditions. Near the end of the final lap, Big Baller is still trying to get closer over the final straight, but he seems just too far off to get a decent slipstream. And once again we see that Dordanov is completely oblivious to anything that might be happening behind him, maybe for the best anyway. Nope, still nothing in the mirrors, and the HUD is still showing P1 for him. He is still hoping it will be at least a P2 when he crosses the finish line, but he has no idea if he might have been overtaken by now. And there is the confirmation for him. P2 is in the bag, with only a slight gap to third, so he made it work. Ozzy didn't do so well in the end, and had a pretty difficult race, which of course already started with the wrong tire choice. Any thoughts about this race, Ozzy?
Please, I actually want some rain. I want some rain because it mixes it all up. I want a drying track. Get in, get the hards on really when you probably shouldn't. Bit risky. That's a bit of me.
Right.
All jokes aside, we have all been there, of course. Making the wrong tire choice, have your race fall apart, and nothing working out like it should. But he sticks it out till the end like he always does, and takes it as a learning experience. That's why we like you, Ozzy. Please never change. Hopefully we meet again in another World Series lobby, where we get to work together and have a proper fun race. Very nice. Moved up to third in the manufacturer's ranking with this awesome result. That's what we like to see. And a final look at the rankings. Scored a nice P3. Ozzy sadly got stuck in P7, but P6 looked out of reach anyway, with a gap of almost 100 points. Let's hope the Nation Cup that should start soon will yield better results. Thanks for watching, and we will see you in the next one.
I actually want some rain. I actually want some rain.